Say Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahushai, Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahushai, Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahushai. First and foremost, want to give our praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakatash. Double honors to the apostles and elders who rule at a great millstone, and a blessed salutation to the Akiums and the folk and the earth to pushing the gospel in sincerity and truth. Shalom. Right, I want to do a lesson in this video. Right, I see this video, I think is about a month back. It could be more than a month back, you know, right? And to show the hypocrisy in these Hamites, you know, you understand? And you know, and you could clearly see, China, taking over the land of Ham, right? And lending them X amount of loan, as loan lend them X amount of a loan, you know, that these Hamites can't pay back, so it can be loan for asset, right? And this was going on, in China, setting up military base in the land of Ham. And when a nation setting up a military base in a land that's known as a garrison, this should show that the nation, right, got some kind of saying in the land. You understand? Right? Even America got, I think this Hamite was saying that, America have over 100 base. So I went and checked it up, the US military base, right? Slovakia, don't do something with this internet, you know, right? When I check it up, you know, let's let it load until it feel it. When I check it up, she was saying this Hamite, you know, was saying is over 100 military base the US have in the land of Ham, right? You understand? So you Hamites, your future is slavery, right? Likewise, you Chinese, you so-called white people, you East Indian, you Arabs, all you are the heathen nation. Your future is slavery. And this lie with this kind of person speaking, we gonna debunk that lie, right? It said U.S. military stretched thin in the 50 African nation, right? You understand? So it got U.S. military is in 50 different states of the African nation, right? But like I said, the Hamite was saying, I didn't go deep into the search and others browse through the search, right? You understand? This is Somalia, right? I think US soldiers stand guard at um Ethiopia and yeah, Ethiopians, yeah, it's Ethiopia, right? Right? Yeah, so hey, China and America, they basically, take over, these Hamite land, right? So let me just run this clip. We can debunk all this lie because we are Israelite. We are not African American, right? We are Israelite, right? And they're talking about Ghana to give African American easy visa, right? Which if you claiming that the children of Israel are from Africa, why the hell they need a visa to come back to the native land? Why the hell they have to apply for a visa to come back to the native land? Yo, this is BS. And the simple belief about everything, right? If you a native to that land, you don't need a visa to go to that land. That is BS, right? That is BS. Before I play the video, let me go into to the to the to the easy visa, right? This is the easy visa, right? We the men the law. We can highlight all the wicked deeds. You understand? The wicked act and the evil act. These Hamites hate us, right? These dogs they hate us, right? And we can bring up the definition of dogs too for you regenerate, right? Who don't know the meaning of words, right? You understand? You degenerate, Salaki, you degenerate, right? You understand? It said looking for a visa for Ghana for business or right or leisure, right? It says South Africa passport holder can now apply for a Ghana visa online, right? So South Africa, Ghana, these natives are what? They are Hamites, right? It said it does not matter where you are in South Africa. Easy Visa will be able to help you obtain your visa to Ghana. It said a Ghanaian visa is required for South Africa travel to Ghana and need to be obtained, right? Period to travel. So they're saying they're giving African American the easy visa, so they gotta apply for it, right? It said please note that visa application are to be done online. Easy Visa will capture the application online and email the application form back to you for your signature. Once you have signed the application form and have all your documents ready for submission, he said we will arrange a collection for you and submit on your behalf. Submit collection day Monday, Thursday, only close on Friday for visa. He said please note that before embarking on the journey, right, the prospective traveler is to have been vaccinated against yellow fever and should be in possession of a valid certificate. He said attesting that the bearer has had the vaccination for not less than 10 days period to the journey. So hey, if you don't have yellow fever, why you need a vaccine, right? You understand why you need a vaccine, a yellow fever vaccine if you don't have yellow fever. So all this BS, you understand? All this deceiving. These Hamites is our enemy. You understand? These Hamites is our enemy. I'm gonna read one of the comment on the video. An Israelite asks. So you just talking about the Africans in America. What would the Israelites in the Caribbean, right? Of course, the individual didn't say the Israelites, but we are the Israelites, right? But only mention African American is a whole heap of BS, right? So you gotta take a yellow fever vaccine while applying for this visa. So all this is a bunch of trap. So if you claiming that the Africans American are native to the land of Ghana, why the hell they need a visa, right? Why the hell they need a visa, right? You're not gonna fool the man, the Lord, right? How much does it cost for a visa to Ghana, right? Right? He said this include tourist, business, student, and exchange visa. He said most petition-based visa, such as work and religious visa, are I don't know if it's 190 US, right? He said K visa costs 265, and the fee amount for e visa, which is the easy visa, is 205. So they promised to give all African American returnee, right, right, African American easy visa and rights to abode, which is house and land. This is what they say, right? Which is that this we are not Africans, right? You cannot fool us, right? You are our enemies. You sell us into slavery, right? But the simple believe all thing, right? And these Israelites who call themselves African, the most likely gonna destroy y'all. Because y'all wanna be heathen so bad, y'all wanna be these dogs so bad, right? 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 So the e-visa is $205. Please note that the visa fee for the key application should be paid at any GT bank location in Ghana, right? So this is how we need on that. So A, if you claiming that these African Americans native to the land, why the hell they need a visa? Right? There's one question to you, Hamites, and to you retarded, degenerate Israelite who think is African. Why if you's native to the land, why you need a visa? Right? So hey, let me go into this video.
Literally, the Chinese are just getting ready to take over Zambia as a first colonial nation. And you know what? What is even worse is that a recent report shows that the Chinese are actually expanding their military in across Africa. So they have actually said starting earlier this year, they released a statement saying, in June actually, they released a statement saying that they were now going to be expanding their military presence across the continent. They tried to, you know how they do it. They dub it as a joint military occupation. They're going to help with training. But what is actually happening behind the scenes is that China is moving their military into Africa to protect their national interests and to protect their Chinese citizens. This is worrying because what we've seen is China has for decades been putting in, giving huge loans to different African nations, and now what they put into that contract is a debt for asset swap. Now, what a debt for asset swap is basically if you default on your loan, I get your car and you don't have to pay the loan. But what these governments have done is they've given away our railways, they've given away our ports, they've given away gold mines, copper mines, etc. And it is absolutely worrying. It's a worrying trend that now the Chinese are actually moving their military in, and where they're stationing their military is where they have their national assets. You know, I'd actually heard that they had a gold mine either in Zimbabwe or Zambia, and they had actually moved ground to air missiles into Zambia to protect these mines so that if they were ever attacked by other foreign oppressors like the US, for example, that they just be taken down. So it's very, very worrying, and especially when you realize the sizes of these military. So most African military only have like a maximum of 20,000 troops, whereas China has 2.8 million and the US has 2 million soldiers, and the US has over 100 bases in Africa.
So you said the US have over 100 bases in Africa, right? You understand? And China, they setting up their base in these different African countries, right, on the continent, right? Now the saying the one African the given African American easy visa, right? This is a trap. This is a trap. You understand? Because China invests large amount of money in Africa, right? And they're looking to establish the railroad, different infrastructure they're looking to build, and they need what? They need manpower, right? So you so-called Negroes, hey, you are not Africans. You are Israelites. The Africans are your enemy, right?
100. And I talk about this. I'm going to release a show on this actually either later this week where I talk about the military presence, the foreign military presence on the African continent. It is worrying. It is actually like we're already colonized, we're already enslaved. And so there's a lot happening on the continent with this. And to know that already the US actually conducts 3,500 military exercises a year in Africa. That's 10 a day. 10 a day. Well, when we get back, I'll be telling you, what actually. Check out this clip. It's the Ghanaian president. They have just launched the Ghana year, the 2019 year of return Ghana, or year of return Ghana 2019, one of those. Check out what they had to say. These are exciting times as we see, now it's shifting from the African Union, but to actual governments starting to call our people home from the African diaspora. We'll be right back.
More deceit. Let me just go into this Chinese clip. All right. It said China say it will increase its military presence in Africa. So China and America, they the two largest economy in the world, you know, have the military base in Africa, you know. You understand? Right? It said China is looking to strengthen defense engagement with African countries, adding to its economic and it's like a commercial profile on the continent. He said that would complement existing Chinese venture, such as peacekeeping activity and weapon sale, as well as protecting Chinese assets. Exports say, yeah, we got China, China giving Africa large amount of loans and building different railroad and different putting up different facilities like hospital and different things, you know, right? So hey, China, China have Africa in the hand right now, right? They have them in the hand right now. So all this talk about easy visa and African American coming back, that's a whole heap of that is a setup, right? Because the Chinese they have African in the hand, right? It said for a decade Chinese presence in Africa has largely focused on economic, commercial, and peacekeeping activity. Now Beijing is building on that by establishing greater military links to protect its national asset on the continent and gain great political influence. Yeah, right. You understand? It said that the People Liberation Army conduct regular joint training exercise across the region and in certain countries that are home to major Chinese infrastructure projects under the Belt and Road Initiative. He said the communist state has been especially active, right? He said in Djibouti, right? In Djibouti, where Chinese companies have constructed strategic port and African force electric transnational railroad, Beijing last year formally launched its force overseas military base. So a base is a garrison. So they have like hey, when you have a garrison or a military base or an embassy in a country, you got ownership in the place, right? You got control of the wealth. You understand that the um the resources, you know. And that's what China doing. They're lending them large amount of loans that these Hamas cannot pay back. Right? Right? It's right. So this happening in Djibouti right now. Right? It said Djibouti is the eastern part of Africa, right? Which is the Republic of Djibouti, the capital city of Djibouti, right? Um, right. So these Moabites, these Moabites taking over Africa, right? Taking over Ham, right? It's it's a which also operate as a logistic and intelligent facility. Many export now anticipate more Chinese base in the year to come, right? With Namibia rumored as a potential location, right? So these are more by taking over, but yet still these retarded, degenerate Israelite who claim as Africa and about all Africa, wool and melanin, you know. These men lost, they don't know themselves, and they're proud and they're gonna be destroyed, right? They're gonna be destroyed. He said, meanwhile, in Tanzania, he said where the state run conglomerate right? Yeah, conglomerate, right? He said where the state-run conglomerate Chinese merchant holding international is hoping to invest in the Baga Bagamoyo megaport. China built a complex designed to train local armed force early this year, and at the first ever Chinese Africa Defense and Security Forum in Beijing on Tuesday, the Communist state announced it will provide African countries with a comprehensive support on matters such as piracy and counterterrorism that include providing technology, equipment, personnel, and strategic advice. Local media reports of China taking over these Hamites. Right, so we go back into this video. Right,
We're gathered to initiate the year of commemoration of one of the most
yeah, the year of commemoration. These Hamites don't respect us. Right, these Hamites, we are not Hamites. We are Israelites. So the year of commemoration, it means to recall or to show respect to someone, right? These Hamites don't respect us. This is a Hamite. This is the enemy. So all this bullshit needs to stop. You understand? You Hamites get going into slavery, right?
momentous events of history. The commencement of the transatlantic trade, slave trade, which brought tens of millions of Africans to the Americas.
So he sent tens of millions of Africans to the America, right? Why you remember that, right? Remember he said tens of millions of Africans, right, to the Americas, right? Remember that.
North, Central, and South. We know of the horrors that accompanied that forced journey. We know of the brutalities that were meted out to them during their stay in the Americas. We know of the great difficulties they have encountered in attempting to assimilate and live and maintain their dignity in the Americas. We know of the extraordinary achievements and contributions they have made to the life of the Americas. And it is important that in this symbolic year, 400 years later, we commemorate their existence and their sacrifices. It was in anticipation of the year of commemoration that my great childhood friend, colleague, and associate, the late Jake Otanka Obecha Bilamti.
This is a deceit. He read it from a script. This is something supposed to be automatically speak if these people is your people. He read it from a script, right? But remember, he said tens of millions, right? Tens of millions.
Then Minister of Tourism in President John Agyekum Kufuor's government, a government of which I was part as foreign minister, launched in celebration of Ghana's Golden Jubilee, the Joseph Project, the project that identified the need to symbolize the return of the prodigal son who was lost and found. I would like to dedicate this whole...
How we lost? How we lost? If you claim that the African American are Ghanaian, how we lost when you devils sell us to the you devils, you Hamites, and the Ishmaelites sell us to the Grecian. How they lost? How they lost? So even from a script, these are your enemies. You so-called Negroes, these are your enemies, right? These people, these Hamites are your enemies. But just remember, he said tens of millions, right?
ceremony and this to his memory. He insisted on granting easy visas to all returnees.
So if you claim that these African American or Ghanaian are from Ghana, right? So like if I pronounce the word wrong, right? From Ghana, you claim that they're from Ghana. Why the hell they need an easy visa. Why if they are native to that land, why they need a visa? Why they need to pay for a visa? Why they need to get a yellow fever vaccine when China taking over the continents? And why? America have over 100 something military base on the continent. Why? Why they still need a visa?
And that we should give force to the right of abode. I think it's the duty of my government to do both of those things in commemorating of next year. But I would like to say in conclusion that the most important consequences of all the activity we're here to initiate is that together on both sides of the Atlantic, we will work together to make sure that never again will we allow a handful of people with superior technology.
So a handful of people with superior technology come and capture tens of millions, right? Tens of millions. He claiming to say Africans, right? This is bullshit, right? We the soca white man had guns and what wine. This what I had, right? So a small amount of Edomites came into your land, right, and take tens of millions of your people on a slave ship. That is bullshit, right? This BS need to stop. You Hamites going into slavery, you Hamites are our enemy, and you Hamites sell the children of Israel. And you Arabs also are guilty of this crime. You Arabs, you Hamites sell the children of Israel to the so-called white man.
To walk into Africa, seize our peoples, and sell them into slavery.
So you saying that the so-called white man walk into Africa, steal your people, a few so-called white people with technology, steal your people. So you want people to swallow this BS? You want the people to swallow this BS in the year 2018? To swallow this BS? Let me get the precept. This is BS. This is BS. You see a small amount of people came into your land with technology and steal tens of millions of your people. What technology that had guns? This would have had guns, right? So let me get the scripture, right? Let me get the scripture, then we can read some of the comments down below. This is Joel chapter 3, verse 3. And they have cast lot for my people, and have given a boy for a harlot, and sold a girl for wine, that they may drink. Yea, and what have he to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon? O Tyre and Zidon is these Hamites, right? O Tyre and Zidon is these Hamites, right? You understand? These African nation, right? Right? He said, and all the coast of Palestine, which is these Arabs, will he render me a recompense? And if he recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head. So the most I see you return your recompense upon your own head. And that's why you see America have over 100 bases in Africa, and these Chinese taking over, right? Lending huge amount of loan and taking over your asset, taking over your resources, right? You Hamas going into slavery. You understand? Right? Verse 5. He said, because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temple my godly pleasant thing. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have he sold unto the Grecian. You devil, you dog, sold us unto the Grecian. The so-called white man here walk in to the land of Africa and take us out. We were dwelling in there. after we flee from 70 AD from the Roman persecution, Judah was dwelling in the land of Ham, right? They had a little society going, they had a little village, everything was going for a couple of years. And you Hamites was jealous of us, you Hamites and you Arabs, right? So this is a big deceit. You can't fully man the Lord. You Hamites are our enemy, right? So let me read this here, right? He said the Atlantic slave trade, right? Or the transatlantic slave trade took place across the Atlantic Ocean from the 16th century through to the 19th century. The vast majority of slaves transported to the New World, according to written history, right, were not native Africans, right? Were not native Africans, right? You understand? And just reading in the scriptures here too. It was the children of Judah and the children of Jerusalem who are Israelites, which was Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, right? So you are a deceiver, you Hamites, you dogs going into slavery, a bunch of dogs, right? He said, he said, the New World, according to written history, were not native African. From the central and western and eastern part of the continent. In fact, these people have been historically proven to be the descendant Hebrew, of the early Hebrew, right? I was watching one the brother, Yahushai 144 from England, right? He born in Ghana. He said before the name before the Ghana was called Ghana, it was called the land of Judah. You understand? Right? So all Israelites were dwelling in Africa. And we flee Roman persecution. They were dwelling there. Even before the Roman sacked Jerusalem, all people were dwelling in all the nation under the earth. If you read Acts chapter 2, verse 5, right? Acts chapter 2, verse 5 will tell you that. As a matter of fact, let me get it. Right? You can't lie. You cannot lie to the man, the Lord. You cannot lie to the ones who wake up. Right? But the ones who gullible, these retarded degenerate Israelites who want to be Africans, they can swallow that. And the most high can destroy you niggas. Right? This is Acts chapter 2, verse 5. And they were dwelling at Jerusalem, Jews, devout men out of every nation under the heaven. So our people were dwelling in all these nations. You understand? All people were dwelling. Right? And if you continue, it can tell you where they were dwelling. Out of every nation. Jews go back to Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Right? Go back to the Israelites. The 12 tribe of Israel. You understand? They were dwelling in all these other nations. Right? You understand? Right? It's It said verse 6. It said, now this was noise abroad. The multitude came together and were confounded, because that every man hear them speak in his own language. And they were all amazed and marveled, saying one to another, behold, are not all these which speak Galatian? And how hear we every man in his own tongue, wherein he were born? He said, Parthian, the Medes, Elamites, and dwellers in Mesopotamia, and in Judea, and in Cappadocia, and in Pontus, and in Asia. All these places Israelite dwelling, right? All these places Israelite dwelling. Phrygia, Pamphylia, Egypt, and in parts of Libya, and in Cyrene, and strangers of Rome, Jews and proselytes, Crete and Arabia, we do hear them speak in our tongue the wonderful work of the Most High Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Right? So these Hamites are a bunch of fucking liars. Right? And you Hamites, you dogs going into slavery. right? Into slavery, right? So he said, he said from the central and western and eastern part of the continent. In fact, these people have been historically proven to be descendants of early Hebrew that had migrated from the Arabia and Egypt. You just read that. Israel and Ethiopia into West Africa. Like we just read it in Acts 2, right? He said these people were attacked and sold by native African. These people who are the Israelites, right? Who are the Israelites, right? Right? He said these people who are the Israelites were attacked and sold by native African. We were sold by these devil, these demon, right? This is our enemy, right? You read it from a script talking about tens of millions and a few men came in with technology and take tens of millions out of your hand. No, y'all a bunch of liars, right? Y'all a bunch of liars. This is why the Chinese taking over Africa. This is why the Chinese gonna continue oppressing you Hamites, right? Right? It said these people were attacked and sold by the native African tribes and Muslim to the European slave trader. Come on, this line up right with the scriptures. Right with the scriptures. Joel chapter 3 verse 4. And yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coast of Palestine? Tyre and Zidon is you Africans, and all the coast of Palestine are you Arabs. Will he render me a recompense? And if you recompense me, swiftly and speedy will I return your recompense upon your own head. So you Africans going into slavery, you Arabs going into slavery, you are the heathen nation going into slavery, right? Because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried it into your temple, my godly pleasant thing. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem, which is the Israelite, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, because the other 10 tribes they already leave they leave the Assyrian captivity, and they already was on this side, the western side, right? The so-called Latinos and so-called Native American, they are already on this side, which is the 10 tribes, right? He said, the children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have he sold unto the Grecians. So you Arabs and you Africans sold us unto the Grecian, that he might remove them far from the border. And our border is Jerusalem, right? And this will be going in it too, right? It said these people, which is Israelite, were attacked and sold by the native African tribes and Muslim to European slave trader. It said who then transport them to the North and South and Central America. To further prove this statement, I have obtained written records from Arab and Muslim writer and also medieval African map written in the 17th century by the conquering European. In the map are shown geographical location of Hebrew city and kingdom that were later taken into slavery. The first medieval African map was performed by the sword Danville under the patronage of the Duke of Orleans, right? So hey, you understand? So these devil sellers, right? These devil sellers. So you come with all this smooth talk reading from a script. No, you devils going into slavery, right? And we're gonna get you devils. Right? We're gonna get you devils. Trust me, we're gonna get you Hamites. You Hamites going into slavery. Right? You Hamites going into slavery. Let me get this precept. Salaki, give me a second, Akims. Let me find this precept. When the Most High he gonna give us. He gonna give us these devils to be our slaves. Right? You devils going into slavery, man. All this bunch of lies. Right? If you claim that the African Americans, right? Which Africa is a so-called white man name, America is a so-called white man name, right? You claiming that we's African American, why we need an E visa, right? Why? Why we need an E visa, right? Um, right? Yeah, so the most I can give you these Hamites, right? The most I can give you these Hamites. These Hamites gonna be our slaves, right? Isaiah 45, Isaiah 45 verse 14. Right, this is Isaiah chapter 45 verse 14. Thus said the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, the labor of Egypt and the merchandise of Ethiopia, men of Esek and of the Sabians, men of stature shall come over unto thee, and they shall be thine. We will possess them. They shall come after thee in chain. They shall come over, and they shall fall down unto thee. They shall make supplication unto thee, saying, Surely Yahweh is in thee, and there is none else. There is no power. You understand? So they're gonna come bowing down to us, right? We're gonna possess these Hamites, right? We're gonna possess all these other heathen nation. You understand? Y'all gonna come bowing over to us, right? You understand? You Hamites gonna come bowing down unto us, you devils, right? Y'all gonna come bow down unto us, right? You know, as Bob Marley say, you can fool some people sometime, but you can't fool all the people all the time. This Isaiah 43 and 3. For I am the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai thy power, the Holy One of Israel, thy Savior. I give Egypt for thy ransom, Ethiopia and Sebia for thee. So we're gonna possess these Africans, right? We're gonna possess these dogs as slaves, right? You understand? We're gonna possess them, right? You understand? Revelation, right? A matter of fact, let me get Jeremiah first. This is one of my favorite. This Jeremiah is one of my favorite scripture, right? Jeremiah 13:16, one of my favorite. This is Jeremiah chapter 13, verse 16. Therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured. See, you Hamites, you's one of them. You Africans, you Arabs, you Chinese, you Japanese, you East Indian, you so-called white people, all y'all going into slavery, right? Jeremiah 30:16. Therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thy adversary, every one of them, shall go into captivity. And they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. Yes, so these nations, we gonna enslave all these nations, right? You understand? We gonna enslave all these nations, right? Revelation 13 and 9, right? This is Revelation chapter 13, verse 9. If any man have an ears, let him hear. Meaning, if any man have understanding, let him understand. Because every man have a ear. Verse 10, he said, He that leadeth the captivity shall go into captivity. Right? You Hama is going into captivity. You so-called people going into captivity. All you heathens going into captivity. Right? She said, He that leadeth the captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. Who's the saints? We see who's the saints. Saints waiting patiently. Patiently, the saint waiting. Patiently we waiting for justice, our revenge. Right? Psalms 140 verse 14. He also exalt the horn of his people, the power. Right? We're gonna get the power. Right? We're gonna rule this entire planet Earth. Right? He said, the praise of all his saints, even the children of Israel, a people near unto him, praise ye the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. So we waited patiently for our Lord and Savior return to take down our enemy and put him on our foot, right? So all this BS, hey, this time play out. All the BS play out. Let me read some of these comments down below. Cause there's some beautiful comments down below. People eyes opening. A lot of people eyes opening, right? They got a lot of people eyes opening. So let me read some of these. Uh, um, let me let's start from this one. It said, Todd. It said, it sound good, right? And all, but I got some question. You said the African American have the little community. Are these nice area are like hood in Africa? Do right? It said does right to abode mean we can own land, participate in government, run for president, influence educational. What are the economic prospect project to be in the next 20 years? Do the slave descendant, right? So this is question they're asking, right? He said, do the slave descendants who return have to pay taxes, right? Are we allowed to invest in the natural resources? Yeah, because the Chinese are already taking over the natural resources. You understand? The Chinese taking over the natural resources, right? He said, what is the current state class system in Ghana and where do we fit? Is there any relatively expensive pathway to citizenship, dual citizenship? Why you gotta get these things if they claiming that you is part of the, you of the you are native to the land? Why you need them thing, right? You understand? He said the black man make every other race of people rich but his own. The black people are the most hated people on the planet by every other race. Where was Africa during the 400 years of slavery? You see, people eyes opening. These Israelites are eyes opening. You understand? Lindsay, the people eyes opening. You understand? He said if Africa now, right? If Africa now, not one race of people have ever spoken up against Jim Crow and hate, and all you are offering is one-way visa, why now? What is the catch after all this? What he said after all this time, do anyone hear what I am saying, or it is just me? You understand? So these people, hey, Jake's eye opening up. Jake asking some positive question, right? You understand? Jake asking some positive question, right? Um, right. This is Kimali. Yeah, Kimai, right? Kimai. I am sorry. I think these videos need to be pushed to Africa and not us. You see, people eyes, these Israelite eyes opening up. We did not sell ourselves to the to the cave beasts. I think we can agree that most of us have been dreaming of returning back to Africa. The problem is the attitude that Africans have towards us here and what wasn't taught to them there. We know how we got sold to the new underdog, and now we are seeing the Chinese come and basically to do the same thing. We need a better plan because African Americans have been deceived and pushed into too many burning houses. So hey, people waking up. You understand? People waking up, right? Um, he said, yeah, this person James, he said, y'all make absolutely no damn sense to me. And I travel the world. We build America, and now we have to. have to come over there and build Africa, shake my head. Come to Kenya to be a outcast among the 42 tribes which only care for its own tribe's interest. People wake up. Kenya have so many internal issues. Why go from one struggle to another? So hey, these Jake's eyes opening up, right? These Jake's eyes opening up, right? Um, right. This person, Nelson say, why Africa wait so long to try to welcome back? Now Chinese taking over. Shake my head, right? Um, um, this one say, Princess Thomas. He said, but why would so-called American blacks go back there, which is not our land? Oh boy, these people eyes, these Israelite eyes opening up. Just where he said, just where we were sold from by our enemies and place, he said, and a place where the government welcomed the Caucasian and Chinese agenda that keep us down, flee from her, right? Land and philosophy of Babylon, my people. And this, hey, oh, you see the Jake's eye opening up. Jake's eye opening up. He said, read the King James, wake up to your true nationality, culture, Israelite. You understand? These people waking up. Only the law and statutes in it can save us. Right? These people waking up. Jake's waking up. Right? You understand? Jake's waking up. Um, this person is a big EL. No, not me. We are not from Africa. And they know it. And they know it. This is a deceiver. Reading out a script. Right? Reading out a script. You understand? Let me go back up to this deceiver. Right? This is a deceiver and I know it. Right? This is reading out a script. Right? Talking about tens of millions and a few European come with technology and kidnap tens of millions. That's BS. That is BS. Right? The people who wake up, the Israelites who wake up, not buying the bullshit, but the gullible one, the retarded one, they gonna buy that. They gonna suck up because they're retarded, right? They are degenerate, right? Back to big L. No, not me. We are not Africa. We are not from Africa, and they know it. Now that he said, now that great awakening has happened to us, and we know that we are indigenous right here now, they want us back. Why did not they come when they were lynching, burning, sticking dogs and hosting us down the civil rights movement? No thanks. This is not my land. This is my land. Right, Salakia. No, they fly around there. Right? Um right, somebody say he said, I like the offer, but you are burning. You are bringing in everyone else over here, killing us. How are we going to stop them for enslaving us again while allowing them to set up camp right in your country? Yeah, the Chinese and America set up military base. You understand? Right? So people, hey, Israelites, the eyes opening up. You understand? They're seeing the hypocrisy, right? It's this person done. He said, we are not Africa, we are Israel, we are Israelite. You guys enslaved us, sold us to the Ishmaelites and Esau. Right? No, it's the Africans and the Ishmaelites sold us to Esau. Right? So hey, people eyes opening up. You understand? The Israelites eyes opening up. They know this, they know who's the enemy. Right? You understand? They know who's the enemy. Right? This person CJG, he said, why did it take so long? I have traveled all over Africa, lived there for a time, but I cannot ever return there to live. I do not feel connected because our spirit is not we have a different spirit from these Hamites. That's why you won't feel connected. It's a spiritual thing. You won't feel connected. I do not feel connected to Africa as Africans do not seem to be connected to us. He said, and two, my experience have not afford me to trust Africans. I have seen government corruption in every country. I have seen African here in America go against African American. Yeah, I think I got his friend, right? She's from Jamaica. Me, she's go back and forth. She la bobo. She praise Selassie. So I show she tell she, yo, he's an Israelite. He's not no Africa. He's not from Ethiopia. He's an Israelite. And she tell me she applied for a visa to go to Africa, and they blank she. Yeah, they blank she. And she's supposed to be African, and they blank she that, right? The Africans is be in the islands Trinidad and Tobago, and they don't mix with us. They do not mix with us. They will come, they will do the guy do them. I say, hey, and they go and they don't mix with us, right? So you devils going into slavery. You understand? You know, you devils prepare to slavery. And let me just bring up this because a lot of hymns get offended when you call African dogs because they are dogs, right? They are dogs, right? That's what it is. They are dogs, right? Right? That's what it is, right? Right? They are dogs. So we get the meaning of the word dog, right? We get some meaning of the word dog, right? It's informal. It's an unpleasant, contemptible, or wicked man. And these Hamites, right? They are wicked. They are our enemy, right? They are our enemy. They sell us because of envy and jealousy. You understand? They are wicked, right? And this is why the Most High said they are dogs, right? You understand? They are dogs, right? They are unpleasant, contemptible, or wicked men. That's what it is, right? That's what it is. But see, these degenerates don't know words, right? They don't know words, right? Right? So this is what it is, right? So hey, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai Batazah, go put all our enemy in slavery, right? And with that, this was edifying. I want to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem Rakakodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders who rule at great millstone, and a blessed sanitation to the Akiums and the folk and the earth pushing the gospel and sincerity to the truth. Shalom.